Hello everyone, welcome back. Today's tutorial is about flat designs. So I choose 6 styles with the same base. So let's go over them. The first one I just called it a basic flat design. You can never go wrong with it. So we start off with a rough sketch and just use a non-textured brush, a default brush or lasso tool and the bucket to fill up the shapes. I would actually suggest you should make every shape on a different layer, or at least combine the same color on the same layer. This is actually a very easy way to follow the shapes and also edit them, and also switch colors or change colors. It's a very simple way to keep track of things. I know it might be daunting to have over 1000 layers, but truthfully it's way easier to just merge layers than to try and separate them. However, you should always choose a technique that's very comfortable for you. So in this case, for me, making a flat design, it's just way easier to make every shape on different layer. I made folders for the character, the flower, the background, and the flowers over the character. It's also important to keep track of the layers and the order. What's above different shapes and what's under different shapes. For example, like the hand that holds the flower, so the hand is over the petals. Therefore, the flower folder is under the character. And I also have a few petals over the character, so that's a new folder. It may not seem important right now, but on the long run, it's very useful to keep an eye out on the layer order as well. Also, no need to worry about the color. You can always adjust it later. So for now, I'm just choosing different colors for every layer. And this is an easy way to add depth to a flat design. This is also a good approach if you don't want to make a flat design, but want to render it properly. But sometimes simplicity it's really nice to look at. It has its own charm. So I really enjoy making flat designs, like this one. I haven't placed any limitation on the colors, so I just kind of went with what felt right. And I added as many colors as I thought I need. You can probably see they're not very harmonious, but we shall edit that later, so don't need to worry about that. That's why we have so many tools like color balance, color hues, brightness and contrast, so we can make good use of them. Also, you should always keep an eye on your navigator to check if the design reads well when it's little. So I merged everything down and decided I wanted a more reddish hue. This is the part I talk about that you can always adjust colors later. My original colors were very blue in tone, and after I merged everything down, I decided I wanted a more warmer color. Don't forget to duplicate the folder or the layers before merging them down, just so you can have a safe bed to return to. After you fix the color balance the way you want, just remember all the settings you did and go through each and every layer and change the color balance for them on each and every layer. It sounds like a lot of work, but it only took me around 5 minutes, so don't worry about it. And that was the base design. So we're moving on to the second design. We're just using the same base and I just called it shadows because it's a flat design with more depth because it will have more shadows. So I wasn't very sure about the color of the shadows that I want to use, so I duplicate the whole folder, I merged it and I just played around with the color balance and did a quick test and decided I want the shadow colors to be more pink-ish. So I left it aside just so I can color pick everything up. I also made a quick mock-up of where I want the shadows to be. That's the drawing underneath. I just choose to go with the middle of the character being lighter and the rest being in the shadow. Sometimes you get unsure about the design and where it's going, so it's better to just do a quick mock-up and set it aside and just use it as a reference. It's an easy way to keep track of where you're going. or how you want the result to look. And after that, I just went through each and every layer. I color picked from the image, the reference image, and just added shadows on each and every shape. Don't need to overdo it, just base color and the shadow, it's more than enough. If you want, you can always just add more details later. But for now, I just wanted just a base color and the shadow. And this is the result. Moving on, I thought it would be a good idea to try out some type of outline. I haven't done that because I didn't feel it was necessarily. However, I think an artwork with an outline has its own charm or edge. Now, I had a lot of problems here with my brush. They were just very wobbly and I didn't know if it's the tablet or my PC or what was wrong with it. So I just worked a bit slowly and with a bit more care. And in the end, it kind of worked out. I think the tablet snapped back into place or something. The brush started to feel alright again. I would say just to use a few brushes that you're very comfortable with. It's going to help a lot with speeding up the process. For the outline, make sure you add thickness and thinness. This will help with the dynamics and it can also add depth to the illustration. Make sure you play with the outline color as well. You can make it darker or lighter or the same color as the shapes. Okay, moving on is the gradient. A flat design with a charm and simplicity. I really love using the gradient. I think it's very easy to use and it's very impactful. So here I'm just going through each and every layer, make a new layer on multiply and add a bit of gradient in the same color. And we're done. And that was faster than I expected. Sometimes simplicity can go a long way. Okay, so one more thing you can think of adding is actually texture. You can use a flat texture or a complicated texture, just texture in general. It can add a bit more playfulness to the design. Here my PC actually crashed, so I had to redo it all over again. But I just made some polka dots in different sizes and I'm adding them or clipping them to each layer that I want to. I actually just decided to add texture to the flowers so you would only see textures on the petals. And I'm just randomly playing around with the different polka dots sizes. And since we already done the shadows and the gradient, just play around with placing them. You can also decide which of these steps you want to keep, or you can just keep one step. It's fine. Just play around and have fun. I'm just showing examples of what you can do, but by all means just test it out yourself. It's fine. Just enjoy the process. And for the last part, I was actually thinking about people that don't really like sharp edges. So I decided to pick a texture brush and just call this technique pencil because it kind of looks like the crayon texture. It's also giving a coloring book impression. So I think it's really playful and it can be really lovely. However, you should be careful that it can also get fuzzy. I actually think I didn't do justice to this brush. It's a really lovely brush, but I haven't used it that much, so yes. I just outlined the base color with the brush, so it wasn't anything special. And after that I just played around with different steps like gradient or shadows and just redo them in a fuzzy texture brush. I don't think you can add many details with this type of brush, so you might wanna switch between them or try different sizes and see how they work for you. The image might actually look a bit blurry, so do be careful about that. And for the last steps, I just wanted to show you how easy it is to change colors if you have shapes on different layers. So I just went through each and every layer and just played with the hue and made it very colorful. And as a second example, I thought I should maybe do a monochrome version. You can see they both work very well, and it was around 10 minutes of work. Just be careful with the contrast. And for the second bonus, I merged everything down and just erase the base color. So I only have the shadows. And with the shadow layers, I just made it in one color and just played around with it. You can actually have lighter shadows if you want to. And that's about it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you maybe learned something. See you next time. Bye bye.